What is up, everybody? Am I center? So today is day one of 84. Actually, let's just call it day one of like 87. I don't really care about the number, honestly. I'll probably continue this regardless. I'm starting this program, which I created myself. Nutrition's gonna be by myself, as well as exercise. So my goal with this, I don't honestly necessarily say I have a goal, but I'm just to the point in my life where I feel like I need to kind of get my health in order. The biggest I've been is 340, which is recently, which I am completely okay with. That's where I want to be. I enjoy being a larger individual, but my body is getting its ass kicked. My joints hurt, my knees especially. I don't sleep well. I unfortunately have sleep apnea. I snore. Getting close to high blood pressure, and all the things that come with it. So just trying to dial back and get myself into a position health-wise where longevity is the goal, because that's the goal in life, at least for myself. I'm 29 years old, so I'm just trying to put that more into perspective and actually take it serious. And I haven't really. I've been in and out of the gym. My weight's gone up and down. So the first time I started to do some type of body transformation, I had to be probably 17. I weighed 289 pounds, and I lost weight to about 189. Then from there, I kind of like gradually went up just slightly. And then I really went up when I wanted to bulk. So I ended up getting up to, where was I at? I ended up getting to 289 pounds, and then I decided to do a bodybuilding show. So from there, for 5 months, I cut down to 190 pounds where I competed at. And I'm 6'2", 6'3", so I competed, and 190 just didn't look good on me. I have a very large rib cage. So like my rib cage over exceeded like my chest development, and it just like proportion wise, just being skinny wasn't really the structure I was into. So I went back up, and so I've been honestly sitting around 300 for probably 5 or 6 years. And then I wanted to, before I did this program, I wanted to get as big as I could, which was 340. So I got to 340, then I ended up getting sick in the beginning of the year and lost 31 pounds in like 5 days. So that kind of like ruined the whole momentum going into this. So I didn't start this as soon as I wanted to, because I wanted to gain a little bit more weight. So I ended up getting back up to 321, which I weighed myself last night. So today is day one. So day one is actually going to be a water fast. So I'm going to water fast for 3 days. So today I am drinking 3 liters of water, spring water, with 2 scoops of BCAAs, a half a scoop of hydrochloride creatine, and a full scoop of L-glutamine. And I'm gonna drink that throughout the day. I'm gonna try to stop. I'm gonna make sure I'm done with my 3 liters by 8 p.m. And then the following day, I am going to do the same exact thing. And then the third day, I'm gonna do the same exact thing as well. You're supposed to drink a little bit of, 32 ounces of bone broth. I did buy it. I just am not sure if I'm going to like it. I am going to try it, but if I do drink that, then my 3 liters goes down to 2 liters, because I'll be drinking 32 ounces of bone broth. So I want to keep the same amount of fluids in my body, regardless of what they are. So the only calories I'm getting would be from the bone broth, which should be probably 4, 8, 12, 160 calories, and 9, 18, 300, I think 300, 32 grams of protein. But other than that, there will be no other nutritional benefits. And then to kind of like wean off of that, my first meal will probably be cottage cheese, just to really kind of give me my protein. And then I will have probably a very aggressive protein shake with a bunch of fruit and stuff, just to kind of replenish myself. And then the diet consists of basmati rice, ground turkey, ground beef, chicken breast. I might throw in a little bit of pasta. As far as pasta, I just mean noodles for carbohydrate reasons, and it's gonna fluctuate, but I'm relatively gonna kind of eat the same exact food like I did when I bodybuilded, just because it's super simple. The goal is to stay disciplined. That's really the main goal. I don't think I'll have an issue with it as long as I'm on top of it. It's gonna be interesting because I am going to Florida on the 8th, which will be interesting, but I have no doubts, because when I did my show, I actually went to Florida as well. But that's the plan. is to be as strict as possible, kind of more of the bro aspect, but I also will have to introduce flexible dieting as well, as long as I stay in my range of numbers, just because longevity is the goal and you can only eat the boring food for so long. Sometimes you have to add things in to make them fun. But I plan to bring you guys on every single step of the way. I'm looking forward to it, as well as it's going to be a challenge. So there'll be times where, you know, things will be filmed on my phone. I'm not the kind of guy to bring my camera in the gym. But luckily, I have my own gym at my house where I'll try to do as much of my stuff as possible. I think I might try to do more of it than usual there, just because to show you guys that limitations aren't an excuse to not be successful, because I do have a very wide variety of things at my house, but there's also things I don't have. So you have to kind of utilize what you have to improvise to still keep continuing growth. So I'll probably do a lot of stuff at the house, but you know, there may be a time where I do like go to a gym or something different, and I'll try to like my best to record onto my camera everything. I plan to do every single day documented, whether it's my meal strategy, my meal plans, me cooking, how I'm cooking. My goal is to also be as informative as possible. I don't want anybody to have any type of questions. I want to share every single bit of what I'm doing to you, just in case you want to follow along. You have all the answers right here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss a lot of things that people may have questions on. I'm excited to start this journey and bring you along. I should be getting a cold tub today, which is going to add to the fun, and I can't wait to embarrass myself by getting in that, because I'm going to do it very, very aggressive, which is kind of my speed, but I'm going to regret obviously doing that aggressively, because, you know, ideally you kind of want to be like high 40s, high 50s when you're starting cold plunging. But I'm also getting a metal tub, which is going to be outside, and it's freezing outside, so the water is going to probably be more 30s, if not lower. So that's going to be very interesting, but Mama didn't raise no, so we're going to do that too. And, you know, if I don't record every day, I plan to kind of break down my workouts. They're going to kind of be more of a bodybuilding split, you know, where it's back and bis, chest and tris, shoulders, legs, and then there might be times where I just do arms, and then back by itself, chest, blah, 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 blah. But if recording becomes a burden for me, which I hope it doesn't, but it's just, I have such a tendency to just want to be in the moment, and it just kind of takes away from mentally being in that mode, especially working out, when you're worried about like pressing record and getting an angle right. So if that becomes a problem, which I probably think it will, I may have somebody help me do this. So hopefully I can make that happen so you guys can get as much content out of this as you can. And I can. It'll probably be like, if I document something, it'll be like day one, let's say. So first workout's gonna be legs, which is going to be, so today's day one, which is Tuesday, Wednesday. So Friday will be my first workout, which will be legs. I'll record that, try to record the next day, if not. But if there's like sporadic days that don't go, I'll make sure the day that I record will be an exercise group that we didn't document yet. Another goal of mine is to kind of just, like, sounds counterproductive, or not counterproductive, but science-wise, get bigger while get leaner. I have phenomenal muscle memory, so I haven't worked out, honestly. Like, I don't know what consistency means to you, or consistently, but I have not worked out consistently in probably 4 or 5 years. I mean, but I just, like, there'll be times, like, let's be honest, okay? Let's say in the last 2 years, I probably worked out maybe 25 to 30 times, and that's not good. So just throwing that out there. So this will be very consistent. Nutrition-wise, I'm gonna be extremely dialed, as well as supplementation. When I say supplementation, I already listed those earlier, but that's more supplementation that's going to be helpful for my body. I'm going to be doing zinc, vitamin B, vitamin C, fish oils, glucosamine too, and those will be so much more beneficial for my body. So like when I did my bodybuilding show, like the supplementation was strictly just like a protein shake and BCAAs. There was no like creatine, glutamine, all the other stuff, all the vitamins, fish oil, zinc, and all that type of stuff. I mean, zinc's just for immunity. It's not really much of what I'm trying to do for my muscles. But just those type of things, I feel like I'll be taking care of my body 3 times as good as I did before. So that's one thing I'm looking extremely forward to, because like I feel like shit. Like, so every day I'm gonna try to do like a wellness chart where it's just like a scale 1 to 10. Like, how do I feel mentally? How do I feel physically? Things in that nature, just to see like the gradual increase of me feeling better. Like right now, like my knees from carrying all this weight around they're just exhausted. Like walking sucks, taking pictures sucks, like squatting down. To take pictures squatting down and like getting back up 100 times is just like kind of out of the cards. I honestly bring a freaking chair with me every time I do a photo shoot. Not every time I do a photo shoot, but if I'm shooting like a sporting event, I just literally sit in a chair just to take the pressure off my knees, just because they're on fire. I'm not gonna let that hinder anything exercise-wise, because I love to squat. I'm just going to try to warm them up, and I always wrap my knees when I squat anyway. So hopefully that'll help me a little bit. Other than that, let's start this journey. Today, like I said, 321.5. Ideally, I mean, my goal is more physicality looks than a scale, but I will weigh myself. I'm gonna weigh myself every Monday morning. So even after this water cut, I mean, I'll probably weigh myself after the water fast, just to see. I wanna give as much information as I can. But from there, it'll be every Monday morning, hopefully, because I'm usually super, super anal on the scale, which I hate. I know when I feel light, and I want to see how light I am on the scale, and I'm learning that what's in the mirror is more important than what's on the scale, because if I'm happy with the way I look and I'm 300 pounds, I'm cool with that. Instead of feeling like I need to get to 270, which is kind of like the goal, honestly. I just need to take a lot of pressure off of these joints. I'd love to not snore. I'd love to sleep better. You know, those are just more important goals. So if we got to keep cruising till I feel better. Also mentally, mental health is the #1 thing that I am extremely excited to. I don't know what I'm gonna call this program, but it will be the title. So this will be day 1. I'm going to take a couple videos, I guess, of my physique, and just to have a starting point to kind of obviously do a before and after. So today is day 1, and let's get naked. All right, tonight is the night before we do this whole big program before a 3-day water fast. So let's check our weight. $321. Let's wrap. Just checking in. It is 3 p.m. on Tuesday. I am officially 17 hours into my water fast. My last meal was at 9 p.m. last night. It is 3 p.m. the following day. But I might also just kind of count it as like me waking up when I started fasting, just because I feel like that's more logical. But regardless, I'm either going to take this till Thursday at 9 p.m. or the following morning. But I do plan to start working out on Friday. So probably Thursday night is when I'll break my fast. I am almost done with my water already though. So it's going to get really interesting. I'm also very hungry, but it's also very normal for me to be hungry at this point. I mean, I probably average from 8 to 10,000 calories a day. I know it sounds crazy, but I eat like an animal, and I also eat out quite a bit, so that's why. So my body right now, I can tell, is hungry. My body was hungry a while ago, and now it's just a mental game for the next 2.5 days. So that's just checking in. So maybe I'll check in before tonight and let you know how I'm feeling. All right, well, that's a wrap on day 1 of this water fast. It is 8 p.m. I finished all 3 liters of water. It was relatively easy, but I'm definitely super hungry. But I think it's just a mental game from here. We'll see what tomorrow has in store, and we'll see you in the morning and let you know how I feel. Alrighty, we're here, day 2 of the water fast. It is probably 8:30 a.m. I actually feel fine. I honestly don't feel hungry. That's just kind of also how I feel normally when I wake up. So that's a blessing compared to how I felt last night. But we are doing 2 liters instead of 3 today. 3 ounces or 3 liters of fluids. The last 64 ounces or 32 ounces rather is supposed to be bone broth. Like I said before, I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to prepare as if I'm going to drink it. So we are just going to do 2 liters today. So we're going to do 3 scoops of aminos, Maybe 2.5, honestly. Yeah, let's just do 2.5. That's good. Now we're going to do a scoop of L-glutamine. There's a little bit of glutamine in the BCAAs, but I like the straight source. Unflavored. There's that. Then we're also going to do a scoop of hydrochloride creatine. I'm also not working out. I hope that makes sense, because trying to work out while fasting this intensely is not really the brightest idea. It's actually already dangerous just to stand up too fast. So I know, sounds healthy, right? But here's our concoction. About a little bit more than halfway through with day 2 of the water fast. I have probably 12 ounces of water left, and then 32 ounces of bone broth, which who knows if I'll like that or not. So if I don't like that, we're going back to the water. But one thing I've noticed that's different is yesterday I had a headache that I've never really experienced before. And you know, it was kind of out of nowhere, because it's not like I'm taking any type of caffeine or anything to where I'd get like a withdrawal or anything. So it was a different type of headache. So I took Excedrin, felt fine, and now I'm experiencing it today. So a lot of the stimulants that are in the BCAAs, you know, that's kind of how your body's going to react to them when you're over exceeding your supplementation. But I'm only doing 2.5 scoops, which isn't the end of the world, let alone for 3 liters of water. I just think my body's not used to it, because I haven't had branched chain amino acids probably in 5 to 6 years. So I'm going to give it a few more days. If that's still continuing to happen, I am going to just change my branched chain amino acids with different stimulants in them. So we're just going to try that and just kind of keep grinding out. But I don't feel hungry at all, honestly. Like, I feel like if I feel like this tomorrow, I can easily do this for 7 days. I'm not going to, but you know, the longer we get towards the end, though, the more enjoyable that first meal is going to be. So I'll check back in with you later and let you know how I'm feeling. Day 2, towards the end of the day, where I'm supposed to drink 32 ounces of bone broth. So right here I have an organic bone broth, which I highly doubt I'm going to like, according to my friend Shane, who's also doing this with me. But we're going to give it a shot, because that's what we got to do. It doesn't smell like anything. I feel like it honestly kind of smells like hot chocolate, but honestly, I can't taste it. But I'll let this cool down, and I'm just going to chug it, because I'm pretty sure it's going to taste nasty. Oh yeah, it tastes like burnt popcorn now. But we should be able to get through this. It's not one of the worst things I've done through trying to be healthy. I used to eat chicken tacos with cottage cheese as well as peanut butter with cottage cheese, just because of what it benefited me for my body. So I've had worse things. We'll send this bad boy and we'll continue the day. I feel great. I feel actually full. Obviously mentally I'm hungry, but what this has shown me is just how much we just snack because of our mental. Like, I am physically not hungry, and I have not eaten for 2.5 days, and I'm telling you, I feel full right now. It's just, obviously it's my body kind of reacting to that, which is, it's doing its job, but that's obviously the goal of the water fast. But I have a busy day today. Today I'm going to try to drink all 3 liters before 5 o'clock, just because I plan to work out in the morning, and I should be breaking my fast at 9 p.m. And even though I wanted to go till Friday morning, I just plan to work out Friday morning, and my workout is going to be legs. And it's just not logical to train legs as aggressively as I do with just drinking water for 4 days. So I'm going to have one very large meal. It's going to be basmati rice, ground turkey. And that's going to be my meal for tonight. But the reason I'm stopping at 5 o'clock, just so I can kind of excrete a little bit of this water, just to give you a more accurate before and after photo and weight, just as if I were to do it the next day. Because usually when I wake up in the morning, I'm down 8 pounds, and I'm drinking about 6.5 pounds of water every day. So I'm just trying to put that into perspective, just to kind of give you guys a better idea. Because obviously I want to, show you everything. But, for me to show you the best I could would be me waiting for the morning, but it's just not in the cards. I need to get to the gym and start getting after it. So we're getting the cold plunge today, so that'll be part of tomorrow as well. But I have a busy day, so I'll check in with you probably when I'm done with my water. Day 3 of the water fast. It is 12:30 p.m. I feel incredible, surprisingly. I thought I'd be absolutely starving. I don't feel hungry at all. Haven't felt hungry in 2 days. The first day was just the hardest one, at least mentally. I just think what this has shown me is how often we just snack and just eat food just because it exists. Like I'm telling you, I do not feel hungry at all. Like if you want to do the 3-day water fast for the health benefits it has for your body, the first day is the hardest part. As long as you're getting your water in and your broth on day 2, I think it's a walk in the park. If I weren't working out tomorrow morning, I would probably do this. I could probably honestly do this for a couple days. But I don't want to work out without having any type of food in my body, let alone doing a cold plunge. So I want to kind of check all those boxes. Other than that, I feel incredible. I think incredible is a word, but also I guess like from a fat person's standpoint, I don't feel sloppy. Like I don't feel like lazy. I don't feel like I just can't wait to find somewhere to sit down. Like I feel like I can move. I feel like I want to move. My body feels tighter, if that makes sense. I just don't feel like I want to wear baggy clothes because I want to, be a little more secure. I feel good, and obviously this isn't for losing weight purposes. I mean, sure, that comes with it slightly until you put all the glycogen and stuff back into your body that you just released. But I'm excited to weigh myself. I feel though, at least yesterday, I felt that I would weigh the same amount based off of how I felt when I started, just because of drinking the water and obviously feeling bloated and stuff like that. But right now I feel extremely light. I just feel empty. All right, you're probably wondering why I'm in front of 2 pizzas here. Well, one thing that helps me get through diets, helped me so much through my bodybuilding process, was to cook food. And it doesn't have to be for me. And yesterday I started that same, well, day 1 I actually started that same process again. But today we are going to do some flatbread pizzas in the pizza oven. A little bit of oregano. That is the final product. If only we could eat it. It's 9 p.m. Time to see how much weight we lost during this 3-day water cut. $11 pounds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially 9 o'clock after our 3-day water fast, and we are finally getting ready to eat some food. And I have a very big workout in the morning, so I am trying to get as much into my body as I can. So we're actually eating quite a bit of food. We are going to eat this whole packet of ground turkey, as well as 2 servings of this cottage cheese, which is half the container, and a half of bag of basmati rice. So calorically, we are at 1,040 calories in this meal, 86 grams of protein, and 46 grams of fat. Well, here's our ground turkey. We're literally just gonna put it into this bowl. Put the rice in. The very hot rice. A little bit of taco seasoning. I know, it looks so appetizing. We're gonna stuff our face. I'm probably not gonna film myself eat because that's just weird. But the fast went great. I lost 11.7 pounds. I wasn't in it really for the weight loss. The weight loss is gonna take care of itself based off of my nutrition from here on out. So I mean, even with this meal, I mean that's gonna climb. Probably not necessarily back up, but it'll go up for sure. But we're gonna grind it out. Tomorrow's our first cold plunge as well, which is gonna be interesting. I actually need to turn the water off because it's filling up my cold plunge now. But we're just gonna eat, relax, and get tomorrow started. Tomorrow the goal is to train legs, and it's gonna be fasted. We're gonna take our L-carnitine and then get busy. Here we are, day one. It's freezing outside. The water temperature is, come on, 36 degrees. So let's do it. This sucks. I mean, the breathing was a lot better than I thought it would be. But you're also supposed to start cold plunging at about 50 to 60 degrees. And this is 30 something. Not ideal, but I'm only supposed to do a minute. I'm not even timing myself, but this kind of sucks. It's very cold. I kind of want to go under, but I might lock up. 170 gallons was overkill, but all right. Well, the day's gonna start now. All right, cold plunge initial reaction. I literally just got out probably 6 minutes ago. And believe it or not, I'm sweating, which I'm sure is just a reaction of my body, which I'm very thankful for. Expectations. I kind of thought I wasn't going to be able to breathe regardless. I literally thought the way that I was starting to breathe, I wasn't going to be able to control it. And I knew the hard part was, using your nose to slow down your breathing. And I only have 20% of air going through my nose. I have a very bad deviated septum. So I could barely breathe through my nose. So I knew that was going to be a challenge going into it. But I also feel like the slower I breathe through my nose, the easier it was going to be because it's making my breaths longer, which is what you can tell in the video definitely helped me. It was cold, very cold. I expected that. And I actually expected to be freezing cold when I got out. I feel absolutely fine. I'm actually about to do my fasted cardio, which I'm literally just going to walk up and down my stairs for maybe 20 minutes. And then we have leg day. So for the rest of the day, after legs, we're going to have our I don't know if we're gonna have our first meal because I am going to have my shake, which is a pretty aggressive shake. So it contains 2 scoops of protein, which is about 50 grams of protein, depending on what your protein is. Everything's gonna be relatively around there. Frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries, frozen raspberries, as well as a banana and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and a little bit of almond milk. That's like my big, like almost like a meal replacement shake, I guess, if you can call it in that sense. I don't do meal replacement shakes. The shake's just a recovery. But I don't it's a rather large shake, so I don't think I'm going to cook breakfast right away. Might give that a second. But breakfast will be 2 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, oatmeal, banana nut oatmeal, which is has a lot of protein in it. I'll share the information with you once I'm cooking as far as nutritional facts, as well as a little bit of cottage cheese. So let's start the cardio. Leg day. We are going to work out fasted today, so we're going to make our little potion today. We're also going to do fasted cardio. So I have the usual supplements that are going here, the glutamine, the BCAAs, and the hydrochloride creatine. But also we are going to add to our repertoire L-carnitine, which is my favorite supplement I've ever taken. I've taken it for bodybuilding. I've taken it for like little mini cuts. So the benefits of carnitine, it helps push the fatty acids through the mitochondria, which is huge, so that they kind of turn your fat cells into an energy source, which is super huge for trying to lose weight, especially burn fat. I can't get this open, so we're just not taking carnitine today. Just kidding. We're just going to literally walk up and down my stairs, and then we're going to go to the garage and bang out these legs. You know, the reason, I mean, I have an elliptical, I have a spin bike in the garage, but the goal that I want to accomplish, at least for a lot of people, they just find a lot of excuses of why they can't do things. And I have a very, very advanced home gym in my garage, but a lot of people don't have, you know, the accessibility, or they don't go to the gym. And I want to do as much of this transformation at my house to show you the things that I use to improvise to get rid of those excuses. You know, there's so many things you could do. Like today, one of the workouts I wanted to do was a lying hamstring curl. I don't have a lying hamstring curl in the garage. If I was working out with somebody, I would put a decline bench to where they could put a dumbbell between my legs and hold it there so it doesn't fall, and I would curl that way. It's actually a very, very good exercise. But I don't have that accessibility today. So it's like, okay, am I just going to give up? Am I not going to work out? No, I'm going to improvise. So I'm going to turn my leg extension into a standing hamstring curl. And we're just going to get to it. So now that we got this taken care of, I'll see you on the stairs. You know, the funny thing is like, this just gets exhausting cardio-wise when you're at such a high body weight and completely out of shape. I am completely out of shape. I know I might look like I work out. I mean, not trying to like sound confident, but I don't look like I've never been in the gym before. But internally, my body is shot. Like, my heart rate is obnoxiously high right now. It's almost scary. But you know, the thing with these videos is I don't even care about filming it. It's just more of an accountability thing for me. But not only am I going to post them, it's accountability for you guys. But also, the thing that's more important for me is vulnerability. Like me being vulnerable and understanding I'm out of shape and trying to do something about it. And then you have instances like this. Like, yeah, diet's hard and exercise is hard. But the hardest thing is consistency and just being dedicated. Like doing this, I was literally at like minute 3 or 4 and I was done. I was like, my legs were so fucking filled with blood that I'm like, there's no way I can do 20 minutes of this and think I'm gonna go train legs. Like, I feel like I just trained legs right now. So in my head, I'm like, you know, I'll probably stop at 10 minutes and we'll just, you know, make an excuse of why I stopped at 10 minutes. And then I'm like, what is that gonna show me? Like, I'm already on day 1 and I'm already quitting on myself. So I'm just like, I wanted to push myself. Like, it's like, okay, now I had to flip the switch in my head. And the playlist obviously was banging. You can see me dancing probably most of the time, which definitely helped me out. But also, again, it's like, I've given up on myself my whole fucking life. Like, why am I going to try to dedicate myself and I'm going to quit on myself on day one? Absolutely fucking not. I'll see you in the gym. Here is my humble abode. This is my garage, gym I built during COVID. Pretty much had to build a garage as well. I have no heat in here, so I have a torpedo heater, which is 30,000 BTUs, which is insane heat. So probably in about 10 minutes, it'll actually be like 85 degrees in here, which I absolutely love. The gym is pretty much like an off-site open heart surgery vibe. It's like completely insulated and coated in plastic, so no air will escape. So once it gets hot in here, it stays hot. I have to turn the torpedo heater on, and I will give you a tour, and then we'll get warming up, and we'll see you then. So my favorite part about all this, not my favorite part, I actually kind of hate it, but it's also one of those things where it's like, what excuse do you got, you know? So like if I, like tomorrow when I do chest, there's gonna be a lot of dumbbell movements and stuff like that. The dumbbells are frozen, so I have to put them in front of the heater. So knowing the exercises I'm going to do beforehand so I can prepare and make that a thing kind of makes the workouts easier. But then again, it's also one of those things. People would come in here like, oh, it's too cold, I can't work out. Give up. Okay, figured out your heat problem. Now the dumbbells are too cold. Heat them the fuck up. I mean, or just wear gloves, I guess. I also have fat grips that I'll put on sometimes if I change my mind halfway through, but it gets really, really hot in here, so I'm gonna start warming up legs. Our first movement is on the leg press, which is behind the camera, so we'll get that adjusted and we'll get to it. All right, so I'll give you a little gym tour. Measurement-wise, I'm not too sure, but it gets the job done. So you walk in, you got your leg press here, or like you walk in, you got your leg extension, also turns into a hamstring curl, elliptical, got dumbbells from 1 all the way to 100, have 3 different size plyo boxes, squat rack with pull-up attachments. I also bought dip attachments for it. Has a safety rack if you want to do rack pulls or whatever. 45-pound barbell and a 40-pound barbell. Safety bar or safety pad for when I train females. Resistance band, speed bag. This is probably my favorite piece. I actually drove to Pennsylvania to pick this up. It's a flat chest press that goes incline as well as more incline and military press. I have a cable machine. You can do obviously whatever. I have plenty of attachments. Leg press that goes into a hack squat as well. Lat pull down that also has a cable that runs from there to a pulley down to do lower rows. And a spin bike, you know, plyo ball, about 800 pounds in plates, easy curl bar, and just kind of like a nice little wide open space if you want to do like deadlifts or abs and stuff like that. All right, one thing I'll always do before I train legs, even though my legs are pretty pumped up from doing cardio on the stairs, is I always like to warm up my knees. Not necessarily just my knees, but the things around my knees, ACL, MCL, and all that good stuff. Just to get into these movements 100%. So I just do some hyperextended stretches. So put my knee a little far back to where I feel resistance and just straighten out my leg, especially to get the patella tendon nice and warmed up, because that's one thing that actually bothers me quite a bit during a lot of things. Couple of those, couple of kickouts, putting my foot inside of my shoulder and forcing my knee out, getting my hip flexors and adductors a little warmed up. I'm too big for this thing. 4 warm-up sets, 10 to 12, then 3 working sets. Just gonna really feel how everything is gonna feel. Legs are feeling good. Hips are a little tight, but that's why we do warm-ups. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, especially for my standards, but there's a lot of grab on this leg press, a lot of resistance. So it kind of adds it up because you're kind of having a little bit more time under tension. But I'm gonna lock in here. Hopefully I'm not yelling for 3 plates. But 10 to 12. Easy. I'm gonna go 4 for 2 more sets. It's weird how much you realize you just need your wrist to do things. And I unfortunately don't have that privilege, and I keep irritating it. But whatever, it's all mental, right? Yes, sir. I really miss the burn, but my wrist, just some stupid shit, like grabbing the plates and like rotating the wrong way with my wrist. I literally just got over this broken wrist last year, finally felt better November, and then broke my right wrist in November. I slipped on a banana peel, would you believe it? I thought that only happens in the movies. Both wrists, 2 banana peels. What are the odds? Crazy. Come on, crew. Oh, I miss the burn so much, especially leg day. It's like one of those things you know you're feeling because 90% of people who work out don't do legs. Next exercise is seated hamstring curls, which I get such an insane pump so quickly off of. So we'll warm up. Stretch and squeeze. My mind and muscle connection is so good. It makes all these movements so much more easy because not only, instead of just doing the movement, like this is one of those natural movements where your hamstring is gonna work no matter what. That's the muscle that has to work, but there's other movements like when you're training chest or something, if you do them incorrectly, you cannot be training your chest at all. Same with back. If your elbows are too high and your shoulders aren't rolled or whatever, you know, you're gonna do a little bit more traps than you are gonna do lats. But knowing how to activate muscles and contract them while exerting them is such a cheat code. So like when I'm doing these hamstring curls, I'm not just going through the movements. I'm pretty much envisioning my hamstring how I would my bicep, except this way. Just squeezing, like trying to make the biggest bicep bulge in the back of my legs as I can. Just squeezing, that's what I mean by the squeeze. I'm ready to rock. My legs are very, very pumped. This isn't a lot of weight. Time under tension is more beneficial for me. I love more time under tension than I do just putting a lot of weight on or ego lifting. That's never been me. Well, it has. I obviously learned my lesson. That's why I'm talking like I am. 3 sets. 10 to 12. 12 is always the number though, unless we're really struggling. Okay, that's a little heavy. Woo! It's funny because I'm trying to not breathe as heavy and make the noises I usually would because your ears are right here. And I'd hate for that to be what you're hearing. Like, just to be able to like kind of yell a little bit and push yourself, it just does something for me mentally at least. It's just like, it's beneficial for me, if that makes sense. I'm using this knee on this pad as an anchor. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but do 12. 5. Whew. All right, there's exercise 3. Only gonna do, well, I actually already did 3 warm-up sets and forgot to press record, so you can already tell I'm loving this filming myself thing. But one thing that I always do when I do leg extensions is try to extend the stretch. So like not all natural, not all, some of them are actually pretty good. But back when we were at Steel Mill, I remember specifically is our leg extension was at a 90-degree angle and it would stop before you got a reasonable stretch. So I would take my foam roller and put knee wraps around the pad here. So instead of having the bottom of your movement be a 90-degree angle, 90 degrees, I would put the pad in so my stretch would be here. So even like obviously leg extension, once you get to those last bit of reps, it becomes like a momentum game if you're really trying to push it, or partials. But still, I want that momentum to still be a very, very aggressive stretch on the quad so I can just get as much of these fibers activated as possible. One more warm up. And then we have hack squats, which I should have, well, not should have, because I'm trying to push myself. So usually I'll put my heavier movements in the beginning of my workouts, but I always over exceed those exercises. And then the rest of the workout becomes mediocre. If I were to squat first on legs, I'm gonna do what I can until I get to 405, do my set of 405, my legs will be completely shot, and then I'll do very mediocre exercises and workouts because I'm I already broke down my legs. So now I want to do it to where it's at the end. So I can take the ego mentality out of it and just focus on training movements. And that's going to be the exercise that I'm going to feel for quite a few days, but it's all part of the game. And I love the game. 15 to 20. That's where I want to go. I don't know what I wrote down, but that's what I want to do. Only 2 sets. I feel like after hack squats, depending on how the leg pump is, I might come back to this. But let's go. This is what I want. Whew. Who are you gonna be? Come on, crew. Come on. Come on. On any squat movement, pretty much forever, I've always wrapped. I just love how it makes my knees feel. It's safer. And my knees fucking suck. So, it's not really heavy. I don't know yet. It might be. You gotta think. 6 plates might not be heavy on a hack squat, but when you weigh 300 pounds, add about 4 more plates to that movement. Believe it or not, if you don't have wraps, they have knee sleeves and shit like that. You can use ace bandages. That's what we used to use at the steel mill. Still does the same thing. All right. Ooh, it's heavy. How exciting. Heavier than I thought. After them leg extensions, I knew this was gonna be hard, but I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. I need a bigger or a smaller lens so I don't have to talk to you like this. I'm gonna go down to 4 plates. I would keep it at 6 if I had somebody here to spot me. I love force reps, but can't really force them by yourself, and I've never been buried by a squat, and I didn't plan to start today, so. This is one of those exercises that definitely makes you contemplate a lot, because it's not as simple as like a leg extension or hamstring curl or shoulder press or bicep curl. Those are the easy movements. But like a hack squat and squats, deadlifts, that includes your whole body. And a lot of people can't clock in mentally to challenge themselves. Me being one of them. That's why I said I love the leg extension, because back in my lazy days, when I have nice little spurts of like a week or two of consistent working out, leg extension would be what I would do, and it would get me through. But as far as just trying to push yourself, like I'm telling you, like even after that last squat, I didn't want to quit because I said 8 to 10. But if I were to try to do one more, I'd be sitting, I'd be stuck at the bottom, and I can't do that. Like I don't even want to do these. Like these are kicking my ass. I'm like I feel it everywhere. But you know, like I said, accountability and vulnerability. Set number 2. 2 reps sewn together. So them wrapped fully around me is very, very aggressive, almost uncomfortable. So let's get it. Starting a set right when the song ends is not the play, but gotta be mental, right? Still sucks, but two more. Whew. It's funny, the excuses to not do this are piling up in my head like they usually would, but gotta push through it. I'll talk about it after. Come on. Give me 3 more, Kroom. Ooh, that one was low. Oh yeah! Can we do it again? Yes, sir! Woo! Oh, my legs are fucking burning. Sorry for yelling. Just gotta get in that mode when I'm so close to giving up on myself. It's like I have 2 people in my head, one saying no, one saying yeah. Gotta keep fighting. Let's go. That was so hard. Physically, but mentally. That's 3rd or 2nd working set on there. My sciatic nerve started to bother me so much. But then again, I looked at it as like, chalk it up as another excuse of why you keep quitting on yourself. And then we got through it. I was fighting myself though, because I knew I wanted to stop, but can't let myself down. Let myself down for years. And that's over with. That's it for day 1. For workout wise. We're gonna actually add in some twists, help tighten up our core. So today, we're gonna start with 70 each way, so 140. You know, I'm seated or standing. I prefer standing. You're gonna keep your hips locked and forward, just rotating your core. Squeezing your core, and we're gonna do 70 to the left. To the left. I'm looking at a monitor and it's showing to the right because it's flipped, so it's a little confusing. But we're gonna go this way. I'm actually gonna probably just time lapse this part because nobody wants to see me do this for however long it takes. Well, that's it for leg day. Scale 1 to 10, difficulty, I'd say a 7. I feel like it was more difficult mentally. Intensity, not up to my standards. That's kind of what comes with filming yourself work out, I guess. You know, setting up the camera, making sure you recorded, I already messed that up twice. Thankfully, it wasn't in any of my actual movements, at least that I know of. But I'd rather somebody film me, honestly, so I can like be in my zone. That's one thing that I really am not a fan of, filming myself. Like for content reasons, sure, like, you know, obviously it comes with the territory. You got to know what you're doing. But the gym, I just like to lock in. You know, this is the fact that I'm in my garage using headphones is kind of crazy to me. Because usually I'll bring in my JBL party box and the whole neighborhood can hear me working out because I'm just blasting music. Just something about it and just like locking in. It's hard to kind of stay focused on working out when I have to also, you know, give my focus to the camera. But we got through it. You know, I mean, if this is how every day is going to go, I think we'll be just fine. Time to make not only my favorite, probably my favorite meal, even though it's a shake, just the best tasting thing. Even if I was eating like a scumbag like I usually do, I'd still love this. So we're not going to measure, but we're going to eyeball. I know it doesn't sound logical, but I literally make the shake every day, and I keep it the same way every day, just based off visualization. So technically, it'd be a cup of blueberries, cup of strawberries, cup of red raspberries, also a banana. And we're going to use some skim milk, and the protein I have right now is Alani protein. And it's Fruity Pebble cereal tasting. So the goal for this is pretty much to make a liquid peanut butter and jelly, which is, oh, there's peanut butter. Forgot about peanut butter. Oh. Probably not, but okay, we got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our second meal / first meal, which is insane because it's pretty late in the day. I'm not saying I'm behind. It's just I started the day later than I intended to, just to accentuate my fast a little bit longer. Definitely not going to make that same mistake again. 3 whole eggs, and we're going to try to do 3 egg whites. I had turkey bacon. It might sound like a scary thing, but it's honestly just like, just think about super thin bacon. Cooks super easy too, and it doesn't cook like bacon. It cooks a lot faster. It's a lot more firm. When it gets burnt, it burns. Probably turn the heat down a little bit now. Well, there's meal number 2. A little late to the party. 3 whole eggs, 3 egg whites, 4 pieces of turkey bacon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our last meal of the day. We are going to, it's just going to be simple. Chicken breast and brown rice. We are just going to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. I'm going to actually dice up the chicken. I don't really feel like eating a chicken breast. And believe it or not, chicken's kind of like my least favorite protein, honestly. I'm just like super picky, really. I don't know what about it. I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, but it's just not really the one. This is gonna be the last meal of the day. I'm gonna eat some cottage cheese with this as well. Pretty behind on my protein content. I'm just not about to sit here and well, yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will have a protein shake, not an aggressive one, but just a simple 2 scoops and some water. All right, there is the last meal of the day. About 10 ounces of chicken breast and some basmati rice.
Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't need